I'm Staff Sergeant Luna. This is Papa 10, transmit a spot report using a man-pack radio, or tactical man-pack radio. My graders, Staff Sergeant Rawlings, Sergeant Guerriere, Specialist Faulkner, and Lieutenant Burns. Right behind you, where you stage your bags, is the holding area. That is where you will eat, where you will study your EIB handbooks, and get your mind right before you come test. Okay? Whatever trash that you bring with you, you will take out. Do not leave any trash in my holding area, please. Yes? Whoa. Thank you. This is the training area. We will have stations out here with all the equipment that you need to be successful in the test tent. The test tent, to my right, your left, behind you, or directly in front of you, is a test tent. There's 3 testing stations in there. After the conclusion of this class, you will be able to go in there. There's equipment, and they will simulate what the test lanes will look like. You can go in there after this and practice in there as well as you'd like to. The opposite side of that tent, there is a no-go area. It's a bad place. You do not want to go there. But hopefully none of you do, because this is a very simple lane, and you're all experts in your craft, and you're going to be badge holders next year and be graders, right? Oh! Yeah. Fuck yeah. Okay. With that, you're going to receive a couple classes. It's a lot of information. Please take notes, record with your phones, take notes on pen and paper, whatever you want. However you want to take the notes, please take the notes. Please take pictures of everything that we have out here. It is all for you to be successful, okay? If you have any questions, please let us know. The uniform for this station will be your full candidate uniform. The only thing that you can downgrade is your weapon, which must be arm's length away, and your gloves. So that means everything else will be on, especially iPro.
Put on your iPro, bro.
I don't have it right now.
Outstanding. If you do not have iPro come test day, you will be a no-go, okay? If you are not in your candidate uniform, you will be a no-go. So please, do not screw yourselves over with something so silly by not bringing iPro, okay? Do not forget that stuff.
Cool.
It's a very easy way to get a no-go. Cool? Cool. All right. You'll now receive your classes.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Staff Sergeant Rawlings. I'm going to be teaching you range estimation utilizing either the ACOG or the binos with the mill relation formula. You don't have to use both. You can choose either or. Come test or come this week and test day, right? You will be provided with an ACOG. So no, you don't have to provide your own ACOG. All right, so utilizing the ACOG, right? When you look down that scope, this is generally what it's going to look like, right? You're going to have a red chevron at the top. You're going to have horizontal and vertical stadia lines. You're going to have these 2 numbers. You're going to have the number 4 and number 6 on them. All right, so range estimation with the ACOG. Utilizing the chevron, right? So if that chevron that you're looking down your scope, and that chevron, if it fits exactly inside that E-type silhouette's head, that means that E-type is 100 meters away. All right. Now moving down here, you're looking through your scope. That chevron, that red chevron, if it is bigger than the head but not wide enough, or not wider than the shoulders, or not as wide as the shoulders, that means that E-type is roughly 200 meters away. If you're looking down your scope and that chevron, if it fits from shoulder to shoulder, right, that means that it is 300 meters away. Looking up here now, if you're looking at the horizontal stadia lines, we'll utilize the number 4 as an example. If that horizontal stadia line fits perfectly from shoulder to shoulder, that means he's 400 meters away. All right, so what happens if it fits exactly between this horizontal stadia line right here? 500 meters. This one.
600 meters.
This one.
700 meters.
And 800 meters, right? So you all understand. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Highly encourage you all to utilize the ACOG because it's really easy to use. Now, what happens if you're looking at your E-type and that chevron is half the size of the target's head?
50 meters.
50 meters, all right? Half of 100. All right, next we're going to be moving on to the binos and the mill relation formula. So as you're looking through your binos, this is generally how it should look, right? Like just like this, all right? Minus the 5 mils and the 10 mils because we just put those in there for training aids for y'all. Now, as you're looking through it, right, this center portion here, think of that as the 0 portion, all right? So right there in the center of that cross, if you count either right or left or up or down, right, you're going to notice that there are these little black tick marks. There's small ones and then there's larger ones. That first large one from the center, that's 5 mils. That larger one just to the right of that first one, that's 10 mils. 15, 20, 25, 30, right? They are in 5 mil increments. All right, now moving on. These E-types, right? This is a constant. These E-type measurements are not going to change. From shoulder to shoulder, it is 20 inches. From top of the head to groin level is 40 inches. All right, remember that. It's going to come into play here in a second. This right here is your mill relation formula. 25.4, that's another constant. It will not change. 25.4 times size of target in inches, right? So let's say 20 inches. So 25.4 times 20 inches divided by size of target in your mill, from your binos, right? So it's the reading that you get from your binos. So now we're going to move down here, right? So to get the mill readings from your binos, you can either place that the cross arrows directly on either shoulder, right? So that center of that cross arrow is directly on one of the shoulders. For this demonstration, we're going to say we place it on the right-hand side of the shoulder. Now all we have to do is we have to count those vertical stadia lines over, and remember they're in increments of 5. So we got 5, 10, 15. So he's 15 mils away. So now what we do is we plug in all of our information. 25.4 times size of target in inches. So we said 20 from shoulder to shoulder. Size of target in mils, that's what you get from your binos. We'll get something that looks like this. So we'll have 25.4 times 20 inches divided by your mill reading that you got from your binos, so 15. Now we do 25.4 times 20, we get 508 divided by 15, and 508 divided by 15 is 33.8. Round that up, we get 34 meters. That means that target is 34 meters from you. Makes sense? Probably not. But if y'all come up here and take photos of this, I highly encourage it, and it'll make it a lot more sense once you actually visually see it better. So come test day, right? When you come into your station, graders are going to point all that out to you. They're going to be like, hey, do you see that target to the right wearing the high-vis vest? Yes, I see them. Okay, your target from shoulder to shoulder is 20 inches, or that target from top of the head to groin level is 40 inches. We'll give you one of those measurements. Any questions in relation to the ACOG or the binos and the mill relation formula? Send it, sir.
You only use the phone up with the binos.
That is correct. You don't have to use, you do not have to use the mill relation formula for the ACOG. You only need to use it for the binos, if you choose to use the binos. Any more questions? Okay, then I'm going to kick you over to Lieutenant Burns. He will read you your task conditions and standards.
Good afternoon, candidates. I'm Lieutenant Burns. I'm going to be briefing the task condition standards for the lane, okay? So for this lane, there are 2 tasks. You must complete them in order, all right, in order to pass on to the next task, all right? Starting with the first task, assemble, load, program, conduct a radio check, okay? You disregard the load, all right? We have no SKLs here for ComSec, so you just need to assemble this ASIP radio, program it, and conduct a radio check, all right? All the equipment on this piece of plywood right here will be provided for you on testing day. That includes the M4 with the ACOG, okay? So task, all right? You must assemble a tactical man-packable or vehicle-mounted radio, then program it for line of sight and satellite voice communications and conduct a radio check, okay? Conditions, you are a member of the team who's been directed to prepare your radio for operations in a non-CBRN environment. Standard, you assemble and program and conduct a radio check within 5 minutes, all right? So 5 minutes, this is time hack for this first task at hand, all right? Big no-go criteria is proper radio pronunciation and radio etiquette, okay? Think of like Alpha Fowler and Bravo Niner, all right? That's what we're looking for with proper radio etiquette and pronunciation, okay? So once you're done with this task, the grader will stop the time, all right? You'll either be a go or no-go. If you're no-go, you'll go to the retrain tent. If you're a go, you'll be moved on or passed forward onto your next task on this piece of plywood, okay? So the second task, send spot rep. Task is to send spot rep using the tactical man-packable or ASIP radio that you just assembled, all right? Conditions, you will have moved with your radio to an observation post. The observation post is the fine positions you see in front of you. It's also replicated in the testing and retrain tent on the other side, okay? Friendly intelligence will give you the size of the enemy, okay? So that is something that the graders will provide for you, just like Staff Sergeant Rawlings brief. So how many inches wide would the E-type be? 20, right, and then 40 in height, all right? So it will give you either one of those prior to beginning your second task, all right? Standard, you will send the spot rep up in sequence, proper radio etiquette and pronunciation within 10 minutes, okay? Like I said, all the equipment you see here, including the M4 with ACOG, in case you don't have it, will be provided. calculator along with the binders if you choose to go that route. All right. So 5 minutes first task. All right. Time stops and resets, and then 10 minutes to go into your second and final task. Any questions on the task condition standards before we can go into a demonstration? Sweet. All right. Special instruction. Sergeant Guerrier.
Hello guys, my name is Sergeant Guerrier. I will be showing you guys how to use the radios and how to pop it. So, items you're gonna need: radio itself, antenna, and mic, battery, cap. This paper right here that you guys see right here, it will be flipped over. The grader will ask you, "Are you ready?" As soon as you flip that paper over, that's when your time starts. So, first thing you want to do is place your battery in. Battery only connects to the radio one way. Let's do this. Any other way is wrong. Then you're gonna take your cap, right? A lot of people struggle with this, but I'm about to show you guys a simple trick. You never want to come up at an angle, just a little lower, press down. Have it right here, right? Squeeze down, radio facing forward, right? This L-shaped thing you guys see right here, make sure it's always facing towards your left. Then you want to turn it clockwise, just squeeze down. Radio should be in. Then, next step you're going to want to do is turn your radio on to on and put it on load, right? If I was actually testing out, I would be placing the antenna and the hand mat at the same time, right? But for practice reasons, I will be placing that later to show you guys the screen, right? So while the radio loads, I'm gonna show you the key buttons that you guys are gonna be using. You guys have the menu clear button. This is where you change and get to where you need to go, right? Menu clear. And you have this number 7. It's where you change to single channel and to plain text, and where you change your volume. And this is where you change your power of the radio. Then you have the stow button. After you put your frequency in, that's when you press stow. Then you have the frequency button. This is where you press and place your frequency. All right, so radio's on and it's on load, right? First step I'm gonna want to do is press menu clear. You'll see volume. Volume doesn't really matter. We tell people to place it at 9 because that's the highest volume it goes to, and it's better to hear anything. Sometimes it times out, so just press menu clear again and go right back to what you were doing, right? So 9, volume at 9, right? Press menu clear once more. Then you go into channel. Your paper will have the channel that you need to be in. So channel 2, right? The paper says channel 2. You see, just like the time ran out, so I have to press menu clear again. Go to channel. Press 2 for channel, because the paper says 2, channel number. Then you're gonna press menu clear once more. You're gonna go into power. Power needs to be at high. You're gonna press that number 7, change, right? To get it to high. Press it twice and it'll be at high. Then menu clear once more. To get to single channel, you press the change button. It says it right here, you need to be a single channel. Press it. 1, 2, 4. Single channel. You press menu clear again. Then you're gonna have to put it in plain text. Change it. Plain text. See. Press menu clear once more. And just to make sure you have everything correct, it's in there. You can double check. That's how I like to do. Double check my work. Then you're gonna press that frequency right here. Where you're gonna place your frequency. This button right here has a little light bulb. If you're doing it in dark, any number lights up the radio, but you can press that one. So to put in your frequency, you're gonna press menu clear, just holding it for half a second. Then you're gonna push your frequency. Frequency will be written right here. You can see it's 32000. To clear it up, like I said, press and holding it. put your frequency in. The most important part after putting your frequency is pressing that stop button. It locks it all in. And after that, you're good to put your radio on. That's how you will talk. Place your antenna. Your antenna, you have these two little grooves. In the radio, two little dots right here. Looks like they match up, right? So just what I like to do is place it right here. Basically turn it until it falls in that hole. When it falls in that hole, just turn it clockwise. Tighten. Give it a little good lift to make sure it's secure. Secure it. Then with the hand mic, it goes towards the bottom left, looking at you guys. But if your radio is facing you, it's gonna be bottom right. So before you put in the hand mic, you're gonna need to give it a little, just to make sure. And with the same thing like the antenna, make sure the grooves matches the right hole. Spin it around, it'll just fall in itself, then you'll press down and turn right. And I should be good, right, to do a radio check. I'm gonna be the candidate and he's gonna be the grader. And these are the things you have to say. Alpha Niner, this is Delta Tree, radio check over.
Delta Tree, this is Alpha Niner. I read you loud and clear. How me over.
Alpha Niner, this is Delta Tree. I read you loud and clear. Out. Just like that, right? You want to make sure you say those same exact things. So you don't want to say, I got you Lima Charlie, and don't use those little acronyms that you guys get taught, because that will be a no-go. All right? So once you do that, you get the radio check with the grader, you will be a go at this time, and you will be able to move to the next step.
All right. I'm Specialist Faulkner. I'll be briefing the actual spot report portion, so you get a go at the radio check, and then your grader will be like, all right, moving on to part 2. Do you have any questions? Yeah, how long do I have for this? 10 minutes. You have 10 minutes for this portion. Grader will say zeros on the clock, say zeros, time starts in 3, 2, 1, and then you'll go into your spot report. Now, for training weeks, we have provided you these 2 papers. This paper is just an 11 lines, so you can fill in the spot report. And then this paper has the 11 lines as well as the acronym that you guys need to memorize, as well as a description of what we expect from you guys. I would recommend taking a picture of this paper especially. But on test week, it's gonna be this. It's gonna be a blank paper. You're gonna have to memorize the lines and what to put on them. All right. So what I like to do first is write my lines down. Now, I like to put the acronym down beside them. It's DU Salute ANA. I prefer to put it to the left of my number so I don't accidentally say it during the transmission. Line 1 is going to be date, time, group. So the day, followed by the time, which you're going to leave blank for now because this is going to be the time that you actually send up the transmission. Followed by Lima for local time, and then the month, NOV, followed by the year, 25. Don't put 2025, that would be a no-go. You're going to leave the time blank for now, like I said. All right, line 2 is going to be your unit and your method of observation. So I'm in 2CR. If you guys are in a different unit, that's fine. You put whatever unit you're in. 2CR. And you're going to put brake. This is the only line that you're going to have to use brake on. And then your method of observation. So you can use binos or an ACOG for the station. We'll provide both for you. I'm going to use an ACOG, so I'm going to put ACOG. Then you can move on to line 3. That would be the size of the ME. If you look behind you, there's an E-type silhouette. That's the one I'm going to be looking at. There's only one, so I could put 1 or 1 military age male or 1 dismount. Any of those answers are fine. I'm just gonna put 1. Line 4, activity. So what if he's a target? What do you think he's doing? Yeah, stationary or standing. These are those answers are acceptable. All right, line 5 is the enemy's location. I'm gonna leave that blank for now just because it takes the longest. I'm gonna go ahead and fill out the rest of the lines because I know I can fill those out quick. Line 6 is gonna be the enemy's uniform. Right now it looks like he's just in green, so I'm gonna put green camo, but you could put green camo or civilian, or maybe on test day he's wearing a purple shirt or something, I don't know. Whatever makes, as long as it makes sense, it's fine. And then time. This time is gonna be the same format as line 1, but you can go ahead and fill it out because it's gonna be like the time that you first observed the target. All right, line 8, equipment. So the target on test day might have small arms, he might have binos, he might have a LERF, but this target doesn't have anything, so I'm gonna say none. Line 9 is gonna be assessment. So yeah, he's standing still, but like what is he really doing? What's his sort of goal, purpose being right there? He's standing beside a truck, so what could he be doing? Pulling security, planning IED, maybe PMCSing. Any of those answers work as long as it makes sense. I'm gonna put pulling guard. Line 10, narrative. So what am I gonna do? I could put continue to observe. You could put call for fire. I'm gonna put call for fire. Just make sure if you write down CFF on here, make sure you don't say that, you actually say call for fire. All right, line 11, that's authentication. That's just gonna be your initials. All right, now we have everything besides the enemy's location. So to find that, I'm gonna look at my SOI sheet that I used for my radio, which also has my current grid. I'm gonna plot my current grid. Now that I've plotted my current grid, I need to find a direction and a distance. I'll get my compass, I'm getting azimuth. All right, I'm getting 120 degrees. Now I have to convert that to grid. So if you look at your declination diagram, this one says 2 degrees. Don't get used to 2 degrees because on test day we might have a different map. This is GTA. We might end up having a map from Fort Bliss or Fort Drum. So understand how to use your declination diagram and how to convert from grid to magnetic or magnetic to grid and so on. So it's 120. I had to add 2 degrees, which I got from my declination diagram. So it's 122 degrees. Now I'm gonna place the middle of my protractor on my current grid and look for my azimuth on the protractor. I'm gonna find where it says 122 degrees and put a dot at the end of my protractor. Now I'm gonna use the edge of my protractor as a straight line and draw from my current grid in that direction. Now I have a line going straight in the direction of my enemy. I gotta find the distance. I'm gonna use my M4, my ACOG. Excuse me. All right, so the chevron is about half the size of the head. How far is that? 50 meters. So my target is 50 meters away. So I don't know if you guys know, but you can measure with a protractor. From 0 to 1 is 100 meters. From 0 to 2 is 200 meters and so on. And then in between each number, there are little ticks. Each one represents 20 meters. So 20, 40, 60, 80. Those are the measurements, but my target is 50 meters away, so I'm gonna go in between 40 and 60, in between the second and third tick. I'm gonna measure my 50 meters from my current grid. Now, once I've plotted the enemy's current grid, I just need to pull it from the map. I'm gonna look at my my grid zone grid zone identifier. Sorry, I blanked. Grid zone identifier to figure out what my first two letters are gonna be. We're not doing any 3-2 uniform or anything like that, so it's just gonna be that 2-letter grid zone identifier. Don't get used to Quebec Alpha or Papa Alpha or whatever you might use for training weeks, because this is, like, again, with the declination diagram, this is a training map. The other maps we might have for test week might have a different one. So learn how to look for that, and make sure that you don't get accustomed to the GTA maps. All right, it's gonna be a 6-digit grid. All right, it has to be exactly a 6-digit grid. If you give an 8-digit grid, it's a no-go. If you give a 10-digit grid, it's a no-go. If you have a 4-digit grid, it's a no-go. And there's no room for error. It has to be the exact digit grid that we're looking for. But I mean, with a 6-digit grid, you can be roughly 100 meters off with your distance and still get the same 6-digit grid. So that leaves you, I mean, getting the exact 6-digit grid isn't super difficult. But also, if you're so used to pulling 8-digit grids, so you write an 8-digit grid, don't round up to make it a 6-digit grid. Just write your 8-digit grid, then cross off the last digit of your northern and easting, respectively, if that makes sense. All right. Now, the last thing I need to do is add the time on line 1 for when I'm going to call it up. Now I have everything I need to call up my spot report. What I like to do is put my SOI sheet right beside my spot report so that I can look at the call signs and call it up. I need my radio, and I have to be looking through the optic that I'm observing with while I call it up. It's gonna look something like this. Bravo Fowler, this is Tango Tree. Prepare to receive a spot report, over.
Tango Tree, this is Bravo Fowler, send it.
Line 1, 0, 6, 1, 2, Tree, 8. Lima, November, Oscar, Victor, 2, Fife. Line 2, 2, Charlie, Romeo, Break, ACOG. Line Tree, 1. Line Fowler, Stationary. Line Fife, Quebec, Alpha, 0, 1, 2, 1, Tree, 2. Line 6, Green, Camo. Line 7, 0, 6, 1, 2, Tree, 0, Lima, November, Oscar, Victor, 2, Fife. Line 8, none. Line 9er, pulling guard. Line 1, 0, call for fire. Line 1, 1, Romeo Foxtrot, over. So say I were to make a mistake, like say line 2, I said line 2, 2CR instead of 2 Charlie Romeo. I would simply say 2CR, correction, line 2, 2 Charlie Romeo, and so on. So if you make a mistake, say correction and start the line from the beginning, and you'll not be a no-go. If you say the whole line and then say line tree and then say correction, you will be a no-go because you have moved on to the next line, if that makes sense. Any questions?